everybody, welcome back to Understanding Web with IsNowGlobal. Thank you all for being here today. Let me go and turn off the. That is not the intro music. That's just another music I'm probably gonna play in the background as I talk today. Let me see if I can. Let me know if I'm coming in clear or not. I'm pretty sure I am, but let me know if I'm not. Let's see what else we got to go over today. So today, welcome back to Understanding Web with IsNowGlobal. I'm your host, IsNowGlobal Chuck. And this week we're going to be covering a pretty decent lesson that I've been more or less meaning to get to. I tweeted about it a couple weeks ago. Finally got to be getting to it now. It's meta tags and how they can be extremely important. Uh, Specifically, extremely important to how you use social media, how you post your links, how your links are received, if people interact with your links, and things of that nature. Um, I'm going to go over that as best I can today. Hopefully, you guys learn a lot. Hopefully, I'm here to hopefully help out the best I can. So let's go ahead and transition over to the intro here. So yes, we are understanding web with is now global. And as you know, we are web design, web development, and web hosting firm. We are here to build your vision. If you need great web design, go ahead over to our website, isnowglobal.com. If you're ready to if you're ready to build your next big vision, go over to onboarding.isnowglobal.com. We're also here to build. We're also here to have meetings where we understand your vision, get a plan to execute that vision, start executing that vision, and then we launch your vision. Um, so let's go ahead and get started today. So today, I'm obviously on screen today. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Chuck. Uh, and today we're going to be covering meta tags and social media. As you can see today, I'm wearing a new shirt. um, yeah, I don't know, it might not make sense to a lot of you, but this is going to be this is our new logo. It's been a while in the making, as well as merch. So if you're in here now early, you just learned that I'll be putting merch out on Black Friday, and I'll be dropping the link on my links page. I won't be telling anybody specifically. So if you're here now and you are interested in merch, definitely be on the lookout on our links page coming up soon. Let me let people know I'm live. Live now. Okay, I'm just tweeting out. I know that was like dead air, and I really ever had dead air in this, but I'm just tweeting out the social media links for right now. So let's see. I'm live now. I'm breaking down meta tags and social and how they interact. Okay. There we go. Boom. That's tweet out. Let's see. So now we can get started now. Hopefully people start trickling in. But if that's the case, let's get back to where I am right now. So slides. Let's go back over to image the slideshow. Can I go forward? Can people see it? Yep. There we go. So meta tags and social media links. We're basically I want you to know how what it takes to basically get your links to show up correctly on other platforms. One second here. And realistically, it's not hard at all. And once your website is up, it should be easy. But there are a few things they don't tell you. Um, I'm literally starting to realize now that my shirt logo is green, so that the green screen is also picking it up. So that's a funny thing. Um, I'll be breaking down how green screens work in like the near future or something. But back to what we're doing today: meta tags and social media links. This is something that I had dealt with at first when I started doing social media. Um, like I'm marketing on there. I would create a website. I check everything, make sure it's good, make sure it's live, make sure the link is working, and I'll make sure that everything is good. And for some reason, I'll post a link on Twitter and it just won't show up. And I know I'm not the only one who experienced this based on like the feedback I got from the tweet I put out yesterday. That everybody goes through this at some point. And the thing they don't tell you is there's 100% a way for you to basically guarantee that your link will show up the way it's supposed to on everybody's social media platforms. And I'm gonna try to break that down for you because it's there's a lot of obvious things, but there's some slightly not so obvious things that you need to know about. And let's go ahead and get through it. So first thing, what are meta tags? Like you what are they? What's bro like? What are you talking about, Chuck? Dude, what is this like foreign thing? So meta tags are if you ever open up a website and you accidentally press F12, you've opened up that means you've opened up the dev console and you've probably seen a header. And in the like you see HTML head body and then the end of the HTML. In the header tag, hopefully you normally see some meta tags that are things you don't see in public, but influence the way the website interacts with you and with the internet as a whole. Um, and you don't really see that because it's not something that's emphasized on how important it is, but it's like uh, talk us of you going out and standing in the middle of like the end of the highway and saying, "This is my site. I do this." Meta tags allow you to do that without having to be there. And for a lot of the time, the internet is built upon bots reading other websites, and these meta tags are machine readable, but they are not human readable. So maybe if there was things you wanted the bots to pick up, but you didn't necessarily want the human beings to pick up, you could put it in your meta tags. If you've been on YouTube, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the same tags that YouTube allows you to edit the tags for every single video, and it's become its own kind of thing on YouTube. But it's very much a thing for websites too. And any SEO any SEO guardian, any SEO warrior, I'm trying to think of a better word here, will tell you that having good meta tags is the difference between getting um, it's the difference between getting good placement on Google search engine and or being on the 6th or 7th page of Google on under your own name. Like imagine you basically doing business under your own name, and at the end of the day, it's like your link still doesn't show up, and you put all this work in. So this is what this is for, essentially. Um, so the meta tags, and I'll go through my definitions here other than me just talking. They define data about the HTML document to anyone that wants to know. They won't be displayed on the page, but they are machine parsable, like I said earlier. It's used by browsers, search engines, and web services. Web services being social media, and domains, and there's so many other things use meta tags. I might have to make this a series, and I think I will. Excuse me. I'll have to make this a series because it just really seems like there's a lot to cover here, and obviously in this hopefully I'm gonna try to keep it within 30 minutes video. I will not be able to cover everything. I'm not able to get to the end, get to the parts I actually wanted to do, because I am doing a strict 30-minute stream here. So when that thing hits 30 minutes, if I'm not done, it's gonna shut off on me. So let's keep going here. So why should you care? I already mentioned a little bit earlier, but why you should care is because the meta tag controls how social media sites verify ownership. Because the only way to really trust that is that the person who could put it there realistically would have put it there. And that's why meta tags and header tags are used to verify a lot of different things. Sometimes it's used to verify social media accounts, sometimes it's used to verify domains. It just depends on what the situation calls for. Um, and specifically with Twitter, without proper Twitter meta tag configurations, your link will never show up correctly. Never. I don't. I mean that's obviously a debatable question. You should never say never anything. Um, but specifically with Twitter, if you don't have your username attached to your website, and I mean like in the meta tag, we'll get to this later. You'll see later in the slides here. But if your name is not there, your tags won't work because Twitter's gonna assume that it's just somebody else trying to be you posting it. And you also have to the links usually only work when posted. They work the first time when they're posted by the actual account holder. So the first time your link is tweeted out after it's being properly configured, um, would be best from you because it's gonna Twitter's gonna see, hey, this is the account holder, they're the ones tweeting it out. They are configured correctly. Okay, let's allow their Twitter card to run. Also, lets Twitter hold you responsible or accountable when Twitter cards go wild or go crazy, and Twitter's like, put in a situation. It's like, oh no, this account that owns this website is the one that did this, not us. Go after them. So meta tags are an identification tool. Internet quote unquote internet police are looking for it. So let's go on to the next slide here. So that's why you should definitely care about meta tags. Let's see why else would you care. So the different types of meta tags. There are a few. I think there's four main ones that we use, or like most we use, and then there's a bunch of other like side ones and other ones you can put. But the most, I think I won't say most important one, but the most important one to make sure you have that's used by majority of social media accounts, and I mean like majority, is Open Graph. Um, you'd be very surprised that Open Graph is, it's like when you tweet your link to somebody, or when you send your link to somebody in the text and it just shows the link, and you're like, why is it not working? It's because you didn't put the Open Graph in the website. And Open Graph, because Apple queries Open Graph, it's what I say used by most social media sites, right? And by most devices. Apple will query the website and literally say, hey, is this person or is this website verified owned by someone? And if it's verified owned, what's the picture? What's this? What's that? And if there's nothing, it's just going to show nothing. There's also specified meta tags to enable certain types of content. Like I have a link that is a video. Um, like the link itself is a video that shows up in the timeline. You can click on it. It doesn't like play. It just plays the video, like a little 10-second video plays it. But you could use that to your advantage if you have long form content or short form content, either one honestly, and you just want to get your content right in their face. Put it in a meta tag. Put it in the put it in the Open Graph video tag, so that whenever you tweet your link, there's a video waiting for you. You got to, you don't have to attach any video. You don't have to carry the link from YouTube to this to that. No, just make sure you put it in Open Graph, and you're good to go. That's the best part about meta tags. I remember saying that this is a very underrated part of web. It is. Uh, you probably worked around it or touched it or done anything like this, but to really understand why Open Graph is so important, it's because when you put that link out there, they are the authority that tells social media's websites that, hey, this person went out of their way to make sure that we know that they own a site, and this is how we know they own the site. So that's the main thing when it comes to increase the volume here a little bit. When it comes to Open Graph, and the features, like I said, you can do summaries, so you can just have like just plain text, no anything. You can have image or no image. You can have galleries, which I surprisingly I have not played around with too much, and I think I should do that for next week's video. Is play around more with the galleries from Open Graph, because if you've ever seen Facebook ads where you could swipe through the pictures and stuff, those are using Open Graph galleries, I believe. I am not 100% sure. I am 89%, 90, 92. But yeah, and then there's apps. That one's like more of an iOS thing where you can like have the tap go straight to the App Store. Video, audio, and then products. Products are links that have direct like buttons to, like put them in a cart, things like that. Um, but that's just Open Graph, and luckily it's the basis for all of them. So me going over this is it should help you in general. So let's keep going forward here. Uh, so what are the different types? Again, like more on going into this. There's also Twitter cards, right? This is used by Twitter and Twitter affiliates. It is it's almost the exact, no, it is really almost the exact same as Open Graph, but it's built primarily and only really for Twitter. Um, it's the fact that if you specify the Twitter card and not the Open Graph, your site link will only work on Twitter. So you want to make sure that you're crossing off all the different social media empires you're trying to capitalize on. So literally, like I said, it's the exact same features as the Open Graph. It's just for Twitter. So I do have a link list of my tweets that have Open Graph stuff involved. Um, Funny enough, if you go and get my free template, that's not gonna be free much longer now. Or I keep saying that, but definitely like whenever I get a chance to. So basically, you're go get it while I'm still not remembering to go change that it's free or not. Um, but I have the entire open graph broken down with explanations, exactly what to do. So this was like long before I even thought about making sure that everybody had knew a bit more. I just want to help. I just want to give you that instant gratification of like, oh, bet I can see my picture on Twitter. Um, so that's why Twitter cards are important. Um, and then there's Pinterest cards. And by the way, if like this is one I haven't even like really got a chance to play around with, but I just know it exists. Um, like the reason why it's called Pinterest Rich Pins, it's kind of funny because what I'm going to recommend later, but Pinterest is a very different kind of social media. They are very secure in how they handle verification. Like you need to explicitly go into your website, put a specific code that you would have access to, and then Pinterest will go query that. Excuse me. Pinterest will go query that and let you know that one, you're letting Pinterest know, hey, I own the site. Two, you're letting Pinterest know that, hey, I own the site and I want to attach this Pinterest account to it. So that's why you would want. And the thing is, you won't realize why that's important until you realize that there's so much traffic coming in from Pinterest. I haven't even used it yet, but I still see them in my analytics just because like the different ways that things funnel through into Pinterest, it's different. Um, and realistically, like a great resource on this is Rich Point of View. Richie, he's a great guy. He put a book out pretty much breaking down Pinterest to its like core. Please go out and I think it's PinterestProfits.co. Please head over there and pick up his book. Support the man. He does Rich Zoom Radio as well, which like if you've been in there, you know why it's very important to have things like that during this time. But yeah, if you have any like, I wish I could give you more information about Pinterest, but I just don't have as much as I would want to. Go on Twitter and go reach out to Rich Point of View on Twitter. You should go reach out to him. He has really great information on Pinterest. If you don't have if you can't even afford, if you can't put the time down to get a call with him, buy his book. It's really good. Got a lot of great information in there. Or just scroll down through his timeline. Sometimes there's like really good things in there. But yeah, hit up Rich for anything Pinterest. Uh, Pinterest needs to be its own full video. I'm not gonna. We would literally like one again. It's 19 minutes, and I think I'm getting close to the end here, so I might actually make it. But Pinterest is its own video on its own. I'll get Rich to come on here, and me and Rich will have a conversation about why and how Pinterest is important to your website and how to get the proper things going. So I'll talk to him about that. He has not like said yes to it yet, but I'll let him know. See what he says about it. But yeah, reach out to him about Pinterest, and then next is Facebook. And Facebook is actually kind of if you use WordPress, a lot of what I'm talking about right now is solved by just installing Facebook and Yoast. Like you install two plugins, all of this is not an issue anymore. If you don't use WordPress, then I'm glad you've been following along so far because Facebook is where it gets kind of weird. Facebook has it uses Open Graph tags, but it has its own tags, and it's only like very like Open Graph is like has a very verbose uh, configuration system, but like Facebook's is only 4 lines, and I mean that sounds weird until you realize like, oh, I can only do 4 things with Facebook when it comes to um, meta tags. But again, it does work. It is covered by Open Graph for the most part, and there is only like 1 or 2 specific Facebook tags you have to worry about. So I'd say it's actually a plus. I didn't go over what the best benefit was this for, but on Facebook, you get Pixel. If you have a Pixel installed, you get Pixel plus the better visibility on products, recipes, movies, and articles, and you're collecting data metrics on how people interact with that on yours and others. So really good there. Let's see what else we got in here. Google Plus. This one is just more about getting your like Google My Business or Google Business or Google Shops. Is probably the best way to go about this, but you can always. I mean, it's always people still use Google Plus. I don't know to what extent, but it's always good to make sure that you know you're able to kind of take advantage of everything. Don't leave money on the table if you don't have to. So that's definitely the Google Plus. You know, and obviously that comes with better visibilities on like articles, blogs, but literally anything Google has its hands on. This will only improve upon your ability to use that. Um, and then I guess the question you want to ask, I guess the question you're asking now, 20 minutes in or 22 minutes in, is how do I fix meta tags? If you're using WordPress, I already explained how to do it. If you're using WordPress, the best thing for you to do is to download Yoast. Yoast SEO. Um, Mainly, like you can do everything manually in WordPress. It's not super hard to go into your theme editor, go to your header file, and drop everything in there. But for the ease of use, and I mean, when you work with people, like you work with clients, you want to give them the ease of use. Yoast makes this level of abstraction, or it abstracts SEO to a point where you got to put in like 2 or 3 things and you're good to go. Uh, I have 8 minutes. I might show off a quick. No, I don't think I have time. I'm not gonna, because it's just gonna take too long to set to wait for it to update. And then I have to tweet it out, and I don't want to tweet the client's website out. But yeah, for WordPress, you download and configure Yoast. I'll put another video out about that. Probably a quick upload to the YouTube channel. Um, but I would have done it right now, but again, I'm 30 minutes hard cut off. Need to make sure we stay there. Um, So you download and configure Yoast, and then that's for WordPress. We have a previous video that we go over Yoast like into detail, like how it works, what it does. Like we have a really good breakdown of that in our previous video. And if you're watching YouTube, right over here, let's see, up there, you probably just saw a little pop up that came up to show our previous video about SEO and Yoast and top 10 plugins. Very good video. Check it out. I think if you're using WordPress, it's a must see for sure. For just if you have a regular HTML site, you have Netlify, you're a Shopify developer, you use Ruby, anything else that requires you to know to touch the static code, um, you just follow these next instructions and you should be good to go. So for how do you fix the thing for HTML? You add the meta tags to your HTML header. Like I said earlier, when you click any website, you right click it and you inspect, or you press F12 by accident, you'll see what I mean by header and footer and body tags. And you want to make sure your meta tags are in your header, because web pages are they're rendered from top to bottom and left to right. So if you have your meta text at the bottom of the page, they're just not going to show up, because the page would have realistically loaded the body before the meta tag, so it's just never going to attach them to each other. This is also another quick sidebar. This is also why you should put your JavaScript in your footer, because you don't necessarily want your JavaScript to be executing before any SCSS, because if you've done that, you know exactly why, and if you haven't, you don't want to find out why. Again, follow like good. I don't even know if that's I don't know if that's a good practice or not, but definitely look into what, like, if you don't understand what I went over, go ahead and look into headers, and maybe, yeah, I think I'll make a video breaking down gotta break down web even more, so that I can keep referencing videos instead of going into these long asides. But yes, these tags will allow social media sites to know that you are the owner and safely link your content. Because for Twitter would have to go out to your website, grab an image, and if they can confirm that you own that site, they can be grabbing any image from anywhere, and they don't want to do that. So that's why they make sure for certain links to show up, it does that. And if anybody else posts your link, they also are able to see the link, and it also increases interaction. And I will tell you, for it, I have actual empirical data that shows that if you have a site that has a card, or a Twitter card, or Open Graph card that has a picture and a call to action, you will get more an increase in user acquisition, or sales acquisition. And I have numbers to prove that now. I didn't necessarily want to believe it, but I was like, oh well, lots of pretty big data point. But yeah, so that's why meta tags are so important. That's why I want to do this whole videos, because like you're literally leaving money on the table. You're literally leaving money on the table by not fixing your HTML tags. Um, so I decided, like, going through everything, I thought it'd be smart just to go and explain each individual line of the minimum required settings for meta tags, because there's a lot. Like, it gets very long and very arduous, but this is the minimum. Um, it might be unreadable now that I think about it, which is okay. Um, on your phone, it should be readable actually, because I'm looking at it from a smaller screen. But so the minimum, the things you need in your meta tags for HTML is you need a title. The title is what's going to be put in the meta tags. People kind of forget that sometimes. The minimum length is 60 to 70 characters, because it depending on what social media you are, 60 70 characters is how much it fits in before putting the dot or the ellipse in there. The description is what will go underneath the name or the title. No longer than like it basically has to be one tweet. So try to make your descriptions no longer than what used to be one tweet, or what I believe is still one tweet. Um, so that's that. And then that's just for Open Graph. And then there's a Twitter card one, right? This is specifically what you need for Twitter. You need this specific one for Twitter. And it's just a card that says summary. So this one will essentially have a summary picture, a title, some content with the description and the picture. That's all the summary is. A summary large is a big square large picture, and summary small is the one that's next to the actual text. I wish I had more time to get screenshots for you, but it's playing around meta tags is basically a waiting game, and I want to get this information out to you guys as soon as possible. Um, so that's why. And then there's the Open Graph title, which is it's the title in case Open Graph doesn't go searching for your title, because there's some Open Graph bots or bots that are looking for Open Graph that won't look for your website title. They'll just go grab whatever you have in the Open Graph title. Real good bots do both. I think Google does both, but a lot of bots don't. So always make sure you specify the title there. Also, it allows you to keep the title of your website SEO friendly while changing the title of your post on social media, while also being SEO friendly. So yes, taking advantage of both of them, big things you should probably be doing. I'm gonna check the chat from other places real quick. Okay, no, we're good. Um, oh man, 1 minute. We're getting close there. And then there's the URL. The URL is just a link to your website, and then the image is the image you want to show. So you also want to make sure this image, and I didn't get this until like a few months ago. It's not. It has to be absolute addressing, which means it has to be absolutely like if it's also you should be using HTTPS and HTTP. So that's just one thing. But you don't want to just put dot slash or dot slash or slash name, because it's going out to the internet to find this picture, not going to your server. So that's why that one requires you to put the HTTP header in it as well. And then there's the OG description, which is Open Graph description, similar to the meta name description. It's just like meta name is for Google, and then Open Graph is for social media. Uh, Again, if you go look up, I know this is a lot of information, but if you go look up my templates, my HTML templates, I already have this done for you. I have comments, like README, all of that. So that's why Open Graphs are really important. Um, so if you want to test your links, this is a very important thing. You should always test your links before you put it out there. Um, to test Twitter links, you go to dev.twitter.com docs cards validation / validator, and you can just enter your tweet in, and it'll show you what tweet will look like when you post it. Before posting it. So that one I use. I just found this one like a month ago, and I use it so much more now. Like, you don't even understand. Very invaluable. Very invaluable to use this one here. Same with Facebook. This one I haven't been posting on Facebook yet, but when I do, I will 100% be using the Facebook link tester, because you don't want to push more into that ecosystem there. That's not good. And then there's Google Plus. This one I haven't used at all, but I know it's out there, so I'm gonna put it here for you guys. Those of you are interested in Google Plus. And then for everybody, this is what I'm using now, because I have a whole Pinterest campaign I'm starting right now. It's the Pinterest link. All of these links I'll be putting out in my email. So if you go to links at the end of the video, you'll see a links page. Head over to that links, and then you'll be able to find our information there, basically. So that was Pinterest. And then so here's some tips, little small tips for images. When you're working with a Twitter thumbnail, 120 by 120 pixels is perfect. For the small square one, and then 280 by 150 is the larger like rectangular one. Facebook is 200 by 200, but I definitely go just do the 1200 by 630. It'll scale it down correctly, or it should maybe. It should scale it down. Make sure your image is centered too, or your content is centered in the picture, so it doesn't really matter what they do. But those are really good tips for images. And let's see what else is here. Other than that, thank you for watching. Like today, like I said, I said today was gonna be a short stream. I went a little over 30. Was hoping to keep it around 30. I want to keep it like right below an episode of a show. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Check out if you're on YouTube, check out our other videos right above me, right here and right there. And let me know what you guys think. I mean, I think I'm gonna put the video I'm gonna put there is gonna be the SEO. The top video will be our top 10 plugins for SEO. The bottom video will be our playlist showing all our other videos, so you can catch up. You can catch up on missed live streams. Thank you so much for watching. Let me give you a big round of applause here. You have 100% earned that applause. You guys have been great today. Before I go, one last thing. I will be. I'm trying to get better lighting here. I will be selling these shirts and these merch. These are front and back shirts for IsNowGlobal new logo. We're gonna be doing a big launch probably this week. I'm just wearing this right now because I really love it. We have make these shirts in house with complete safety and precaution involved. But if you are interested in getting some of these shirts before around Black Friday when they're coming out, I'm going to quickly here actually. You know what? Actually, head over to our links page, and the first link you'll see in our links page will be a link to our merch email sign up. I will also be I might drop it randomly on the timeline without any explanation, so you're gonna look out for that link as well. But other than that, man, I really appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you're interested in these shirts, DM me. Or these are really good, high quality shirts. They are not stickers. This is like printed on. If you have like a specific shirt that you want to talk about, we can work some custom things out early. But now, other than that, thank you so much for being here. Let me go ahead and I didn't have the outro ready, but I think I might be able to open it pretty quickly. Here we go. If I go down to 71. Yeah, I'll leave you with the outro, and I'll talk to you guys later. But if you have any other questions, anything else, head over to live.isnowglobal.com, leave a comment, and then if you have anything that you want to let us know, if you don't feel comfortable put on the timeline, email it to me, DM it to me, put on the live.isnowglobal.com. If you want to follow us on social media, I'm on Twitter at IsNowGlobalChuck and at IsNowGlobal. Our website is isnowglobal.com. If you are interested in anything that you want to with us, social media, product-wise, head over to our links page right there on the page on the screen. And thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you spending your Saturday with me. And I will catch you all in the next one. All right, I was supposed to leave you with the outro. So I'll leave you with the outro, and then I'll be gone.